Hello friends, today I am going to introduce you one more classics in the history of English criticism, the study of poetry. This session is prepared on the demand of one of my subscribers. The study of poetry is a critical essay by Matthew Arnold. It was originally written as a general introduction to an anthology, The English Poets. However, the essay was included in Essays in Criticism, the second series. Matthew Arnold's study of poetry is regarded as one of the greatest essays in the entire history of English criticism. The essay can be divided into two parts. In the first part, Matthew Arnold speaks of poetry, his concept of estimates of poetry, and his touchstone method. While the second part of the essay is devoted to the survey of poetry from the age of Chaucer to the end of Neoclassical age. The study of poetry is really a genuine essay. Do enjoy it. Let us jump to our topic, MCQs on the study of poetry. Number 1. Which of the following is true to the study of poetry? Options are A. It is an essay by Matthew Arnold. B. It was published in 1888. C. It was originally published as a general introduction to T.H. Ward's anthology, The English Poets. D. All these are true. Correct option is D. All these are true. Number 2. To Matthew Arnold, the future of dash dash is immense. Options are A. Novel. B. Drama. C. Poetry. D. Short story. Correct option is C. Poetry. Number 3. As Matthew Arnold thinks, there is a need of dash dash to conceive the high destiny of poetry. Options are A. Standard for poetry. B. Craze for poetry. C. Royal patronage. D. New poetic style. Correct option is A. Standard for poetry. Number 4. Which of the following is the peculiarity of the best poetry? Options are A. Power of forming. B. Power of sustaining. C. Power of delighting. D. All these. Correct option is D. All these. Number 5. To Matthew Arnold, poetry is dash dash. Options are A. The impassioned expression which is in the countenance of all signs. B. The breadth and final spirit of all knowledge. C. The criticism of life. D. Something else. Correct option is C. The criticism of life. Number 6. To Matthew Arnold, dash dash estimate of poetry is the only true estimate. Options are A. Real estimate. B. Historical estimate. C. Personal estimate. D. None of these. Correct option is A. Real estimate. Number 7. As Matthew Arnold thinks, the historical estimate of poetry is likely to affect the reader's judgment when he is dealing with dash dash poets. Options are A. Ancient. B. Modern. C. Grave. D. Humorous. Correct option is A. Ancient. Number 8. To Matthew Arnold, dash dash estimate of poetry is fallacious. Options are A. Historical. B. Personal. C. Both. D. None of them. Correct option is C. Both. Number 9. Which of the following estimate of poetry is not propounded by Matthew Arnold? Options are A. Historical, B. Personal, C. Real, D. Biographical. Correct option is D. Biographical. Number 10. Which of the following method has been propounded by Matthew Arnold to distinguish genuine poetry from the worthless creation? Options are A. Real estimate, B. Historical estimate, C. Personal method, D. Touchstone method. Correct option is D. Touchstone method. Number 11. The superiority of poetry over history consists in its possessing data. Options are A. Higher truth, B. Higher seriousness, C. Both, D. None of them. Correct option is C. Both. Number 12. As Matthew Arnold cites, the English poetry in its origin is connected to the poetry of Dastas. Options are A. France, B. Greece, C. Rome, D. Italy. Correct option is A. France. Number 13. To Matthew Arnold, Dastas centuries are the seed time of all modern language and literature. Options are A. 9th and 10th, B. 12th and 13th, C. 14th and 15th, D. None of these. Correct option is B. 12th and 13th. Number 14. In the opinion of Robert Southey, Dastas is the pride of French literature. Options are A. Epic, B. Ballad, C. Mock epic, D. Romance. Correct option is D. Romance. Number 15. Identify from the following the master of Dante. Options are A. Brunetto Latini, B. Saint-Beuve, C. Cadman, D. Pelisson. Correct option is A. Brunetto Latini. Number 16. To Matthew Arnold, Dastas is a genuine source of joy and strength. Options are A. Burns, B. Chaucer, C. Spenser, D. Shakespeare. Correct option is B. Chaucer. Number 17. The superiority of Chaucer's poetry over the Romance consists in data. Options are A. The substance of poetry, B. The style of poetry, C. Both, D. None of them. Correct option is C. Both. Number 18. In the eyes of Matthew Arnold, Dastas is a perpetual fountain of good sense. Options are A. Dryden, B. Chaucer, C. John Gower, D. Burns. Correct option is B. Chaucer. Number 19. To Matthew Arnold, Dastas is the father of splendid English poetry. Options are A. Chaucer, B. Gower, C. Spenser, D. Shakespeare. Correct option is A. Chaucer. Number 20. Whom Matthew Arnold calls the well of English undefiled. Options are A. Chaucer, B. Gower, C. Spenser, D. Milton. Correct option is A. Chaucer. Number 21. Who of the following modernized Chaucer's The Prioress Ten? Options are A. John Dryden, B. William Wordsworth, C. Thomas Gray, D. Robert Southey. Correct option is B. William Wordsworth. Number 22. Whom Matthew Arnold hails as the first great classic of Christendom. Options are A. Dante, B. Chaucer, C. John Gower, D. Edmund Spenser. Correct option is A. Dante. Number 23. As Matthew Arnold finds out, Chaucer's poetry lacks dash dash. Options are A. Truth of substance, B. The criticism of life, C. The largeness, D. High seriousness. Correct option is D. High seriousness. Number 24. As Matthew Arnold thinks, the real English poetry born with dash dash. Options are A. Gower, B. Chaucer, C. Spenser, D. Shakespeare. Correct option is B. Chaucer. Number 25. Who of the following is hailed the poetical classic? Options are A. William Shakespeare, B. John Milton, C. Both, D. None. Correct option is C. Both. Number 26. Whom Matthew Arnold regards the puissant and glorious founder of the age of prose. Options are A. John Dryden, B. Alexander Pope, C. Edison, D. Dr. Johnson. Correct option is A. John Dryden. Number 27. Whom Matthew Arnold regards the splendid high priest of the age of prose and reason. Options are A. John Dryden, B. Alexander Pope, C. Dr. Johnson, D. Thomas Gray. Correct option is B. Alexander Pope. Number 28. Where do we get Matthew Arnold's quotation given below? Dryden and Pope are not classics of our poetry, they are classics of our prose. Options are A. The study of poetry, B. Nature and function of poetry, C. Function of the criticism at the present time, D. Elsewhere. Correct option is A. The study of poetry. Number 29. Whom Matthew Arnold regards the poetical classic of age of prose and reason. Options are A. John Dryden, B. Alexander Pope, C. Thomas Gray, D. Burns. Correct option is C. Thomas Gray. Number 30. Whom Matthew Arnold describes the scantiest and frailest classic of poetry of the age of prose and reason. Options are A. Gray, B. Burns, C. Alexander Pope, D. Dr. Johnson. Correct option is A. Gray.